The Flogcast may occasionally contain explicit content that makes it not safe for work or for minors. It also doesn't provide an excuse to use the same words on Bay 13. Normal big footy rules still apply.
Alright, so this is the Flogcast for the grand final. Fyfie joined by Teach.
Hello.
Dane.
Who the hell's Dane?
You are. Say hello.
Ant.
Hello.
Ant
said hello. Because Dane said it when, yeah.
NetworkNerd.
G'day, guys.
And Penal.
Oh, it's the grand final and Hawthorn are there again. What a surprise.
Goo.
Oh, you fucking...
So, you're going to go 2 weeks in a row of losing a grand final. The brown and yellow walking home with their heads.
Can you imagine that?
Those cunts.
2 losses in a week.
And
VFL
Rioli
is
comes off
irrelevant.
Rioli comes off at 3/4 time and ices the uppies.
What is this fucking second-rate competition? We may as well be talking about the NEFL.
Or the Sandful.
Maybe the Swans
King
will
Island.
lose 2 grand finals in a few weeks.
Maybe they will, but let's go back before we look forward. And we'll start with what was probably almost the game of the year. And, geez, Port gave Hawthorn a scare.
Yeah, well, we got screwed over by the umpires. 20,
Oh, shut the fuck up, maggot. You fucking idiot. No
Bullshit,
way.
you got screwed by the umpires.
23 kicks
What
to
a
17 Port's way, so, we got
What
screwed.
What did the
Face
neutrals
your
on
name,
the main
plugger.
board say?
I think the neutrals on the main board were saying Port were robbed.
Right in front of them.
Right in front of them.
I don't care what you say. Those are the stats, and the stats say we got the moral victory as well as the actual victory, so you can suck me.
Go.
3-point scoreboard victory, 3-point moral victory on the free kick count, so...
I'm not
Take-
going
take-
anywhere near your cock, Penal. But I tell you what, the last 5 minutes, the free kicks went against Port when all of the surge and all of the play was in their favour. So you count yourself lucky, mate. And
There
the fact that Port couldn't
there was
kick
one
straight.
bad kick. There was one bad call against Port, and that was the holding the ball. That's like the only bad call that went against them late in the game. There were like 5 that went against us incorrectly. The case in point was the Monfries Gibson
That
one,
was the only one.
which the AFL admitted was wrong, which actually kick-started their run. So if the umpires had done their job, then maybe Port wouldn't have even been within 4 goals in the first place.
Maybe Port could have killed that game at quarter time if they kicked straight, though. Because,
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Fucking
Yeah, but they
Hawthorn
didn't.
won.
I
And
know
it's
they
their own
didn't.
fault they didn't, so they should blame themselves and stop blaming
Well,
the
they didn't get
fucking
much help from the
umpires.
umpires early on, so...
Do you reckon Rioli would have been the difference if he played?
Yeah, Hawthorn would have lost.
That's four prelims in a row. It's pretty sure it's 4 prelims under a kick for Hawthorn, so... Yeah, it's...
We just know how
struggle.
to have done it,
Absolutely.
but
Chad
this game
Wingard
don't
did his
have
best
this.
Rioli impersonation too, not turning up in the game until 3/4 time.
Yeah,
It was an absolutely cracking game, though. I mean, very, very exciting to watch as a neutral. And, we're whinging about the umpires, but Hawthorn don't control the umpires. So,
No, Geelong do.
well, yeah, but we're out. So,
Yeah.
It was a very strange decision, I must admit, by Ken Hinkley to give Chad Wingard the green vest and then not sub him on till 3/4 time.
It's kind of like the reverse Rioli in the VFL.
I gotta be honest though, why are Hawthorn's fans just so dispassionate?
what do you mean?
Well, I was at that game, and Hawthorn outnumbered Hawthorn supporters just by looking at the colours in the crowd, outnumbered Port supporters easily by double. Yet the Port supporters made that much more noise,
It's because
particularly with the Port
Hawthorn supporters
chanting
are
around the
It's
ground.
because
Why
you-
can they get loud and
civilized
Hawthorn
individuals, whereas Port supporters in South
It's
Australia...
because they're disappointed they had a home final and it wasn't
And
in
you'll
Tassie.
never tear them apart.
I think
Look, it's always the same when there is a visiting team in town and they are surging. And they've all been out for dinner, and they've got a gut full of beer, and they turn up. And
It wasn't dinner. The game was at 4:40, man.
Yeah, well, they've all been very excited about it, and they all thought that they were some kind of a chance. Whereas Hawthorn was sitting there going, well, we've had the week off. We deserve to win the game.
Just going to merry our way over the line.
Yeah, exactly right, Dan. And then, when it doesn't happen that way, the visiting team goes bananas.
I reckon it's more that the Hawthorn supporters just can't get themselves excited until there's goo to be chugged at the end.
Oh, what do you reckon, Penal?
Yeah, Hawthorn's going at it like wet spaghetti.
Penal's waiting out for the happy ending.
I think Fyfie's theory might have some merit because I was fucking shitting my pants for the last 5 minutes there when Port got a run on, but then by the time the final siren went, I was just all aboard the goo train. So I think Fyfie's got a point.
No, but seriously, no joke. The Port supporters were fairly impressive. Could see them rolling up to the ground in this massively long stream across the bridge, which was, they travelled.
Scarf wearing?
Yeah, lots of it. Oh, yeah, the scarf wearing was, very aggressive, The Hawks supporters are definitely well prepared for the Kohler fans bringing their aggressive scarves to town this week.
Have any of you guys gone interstate for a final?
Not to Adelaide.
Not a final.
No.
Oh, well, I've been interstate for a couple of finals.
Did you go to Sydney Geelong 2005?
Did you catch the train?
I didn't catch a train, but I was there. And we were going absolutely bananas. And then
Nick Davis
fucking Davis happened. And, we just walked out thinking, how many people can we kill on the way to the train station?
Is son got on tonight, or?
To the train station? You said you didn't catch a train.
Oh, that was a bad night. But, when you go into state for a final, you just, it's very, very exciting. And so that's what happened with the Port people.
Yeah, no, one thing I will say, the only time I didn't hear them was when they were singing their Never Tear Us Apart before the siren, because I got to be honest, this actually shitted me because I wanted to hear them do it. But you couldn't hear it because there was some meaningless song being played at full volume, which shits people already, that they play these songs in the lead up to the bounce, and they could have at least given them some silence to work with, but instead you couldn't hear a thing.
Shouldn't they sing that song after a loss?
Why?
Wouldn't that make more sense?
Well, they do it before a game. I don't think anyone stands around to sing after.
Given what happened to the singer?
Yeah. He had an asphyxie wank and died.
Yes,
So why are you singing that song? Really?
I think that song's a bit broader than simply the way he died.
No, I think that song would be appropriate for a number of fucking other teams in the AFL. Ones that like to sort of... I don't want to exactly say...
Choke.
Come on, this is a big bean-up. This is a big build-up, Penal. Get to the point.
Yeah, this better be good.
Blah, 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 Geelong, concerning you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going the Geelong angle because they...
We cut you off at the pass. Fuck off. Let's move on.
Yeah.
What else do we have on that particular game?
It was just a great game of football, and Hawthorn got through. And you know what? I think that the teams that play the toughest prelim actually go on to win the grand final.
You sure?
2012.
Yeah, not always. Yeah.
I think I actually looked up the stats on this after the game. I think Hawthorn last year and Geelong in 2007, when they fell over the line against Collingwood, are the only teams in the last 10 years to sort of boast that record, unfortunately.
And Port in 2004, but both teams played close ones that year.
Yeah, well, I'm sort of banking on that because I'm putting my money on the Hawks. So I reckon the Hawks are going to come out of
no turncoat this year. No turncoat.
No. I've got no mates who barrack for Sydney. I've got a lot of mates who barrack for Hawthorn, including Penal, our great vlogcast friend. So I'm on the Hawks.
NetworkNerd's just not here, is he?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you're still there, Network?
Of course I'm here, man.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. For you...
So what are your thoughts on this game, Matrox?
I think Teach here has not turncoated because he doesn't want to supply Demtel with any more memorabilia.
Well, it doesn't matter because Teacher's always going to change his tip at the end of the week.
So he's actually going for Sydney.
Well, 5 minutes before the game, I can do it.
They will never tear Geelong and Sydney apart in grand final week when they're playing Hawthorn. They're just chugging each other's goo. They're choking themselves and chugging each other's wank goo.
It's funny you should say that because I was reading the Geelong board after the VFL grand final and they were chugging on that as well. They really get into Hawthorn losing.
Anything else on that? Port were impressive in defeat, and they look like they've arrived. They appear to be a team going forward, but Hawthorn are the team at the moment, so I got nothing else.
Yeah.
I think Port are a real chance to win the flag next year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, Port are a great side coming.
Probably favourites, in my opinion, at this stage.
Big call.
Yeah,
They could
let's
easily
not
crash and
start
burn.
the bandwagons before this season's over, okay?
Yeah. You know what happens to the bandwagons?
Well, speaking of bandwagons,
We don't need to review this game.
the ride is over. The bandwagon ride's over. It came to
it's
a crashing halt. No one sabotaged it, I don't think.
Were you still on the bandwagon, Teach, in that game?
Teach wasn't allowed on. We
You
didn't
weren't
let him.
allowed on. What about his rent-a-bomb bandwagon he was talking about? Were you still on
I
that, Teach?
sat there and I watched it and I thought I've got to get off this red bomb and I just jumped off the side.
He put the brick on the gas and he just jumped out and it
I
went
did.
straight into
I
the
jumped
lake.
out, went straight in the lake, and everyone
Did
died.
Lindsay Thomas and dive forward?
Yeah. So I went probably a year early with North, but I reckon they're going to be.
They're going to bring it back next year.
They're going to play Port, are they, in the grand final?
That's his stick. Yeah.
I reckon North are going to go much better next year, but Jesus, that was a shit turnout, Dan.
Oh.
That was just fucking woeful.
And what about Petrie? Like, the predictor was on for the first half there until he went junk time.
It was.
He had a quietish game.
He was useless. Him and Thomas were
It
useless.
was not a great
He
game.
missed a lot of easy shots.
He did.
That game was alive for a while there, but Petrie couldn't put it through in a few.
It was alive for the first 15 minutes, and then the damn wall just blew apart, and Sydney just slaughtered us. I mean, their transition from the back line to the forward line was just superb, and we didn't play with a loose man down back. So Franklin and Tippett just had a day out, and
however,
they did it too easily in the end.
If Geelong had have beaten North, Geelong would have been beaten by more.
110 points probably.
Yeah. So, I mean, North deserved to be with.
I mean, we always thought that the Port Hawthorn game was going to be the more closer affair. This one,
I was the only one who tipped North, and that was more out of hope.
Well,
than anything else.
that was dumb.
You wanted the lol.
Yeah, you were troll tipping. That's.
Oh no, I wanted the bandwagon to roll on because it's been a great ride and all that. And I was North one.
So are the North supposed to still bumping Griffey's Petrie predictor for it?
Well, as ordinary as a game as he had, he did kick 3 goals, and he's averaged 3 goals throughout the final series. So, and as lean of a year as he's had, he's just taken a massive shit on that thread because he's kicked multiple goals.
Yeah, but Jack Revolt kicked 3 goals against Port, and no one talks about that because they were all in junk time as well. It doesn't matter if you kick them when the game's over.
Yeah, but he hasn't put that in his OP though about junk time goals or how you kick them.
True.
So no one bumped that thread, Ant. Is that right?
I don't know, man. I never really pay attention.
He just watches how often it's on the first page.
Yeah. I've never actually read it. It'd be boring as shit. Sorry, go Griff.
Anything else on Lowell North and Sydney?
Nah, shit game. It was a
bit of a
disappointing result, but there you go.
Well,
I mean,
Sydney definitely look ominous, that's for sure. But
Sydney got a flag in the bag, man.
We've got the best 2 teams.
We stuck the boot into Petrie a bit, but he was still 10 times better than fucking Linsky Thomas, who just could not find his skis on Friday night.
But yeah, if we've got nothing else on that.
No, let's move on.
Nah, Sydney's going to smash it.
As good as they were on Friday, they won't play like that.
Hawthorn won't let them play
No,
that.
they won't.
I still think they're going to do it, win.
Hawthorn are too well coached.
We'll come to the grand final goo and tears. But yeah, moving on, the Petrie predictor thread got mentioned. Now to another epic shitfight thread, which is 9,000 posts long on the West Coast board, and it's about the Bradbury Brownlow medalist.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This is seriously like Vickery getting the Brownlow for Richmond, or
No,
who's the whipping boy on the Who's the whipping boy on the Hawks board?
Clangers, but
Yeah, Shunmakers.
is there? I don't think there is a bigger or weirder shit
The
fight
world's
than the
coming to
Priddis
an
thread on
end.
the West Coast board. Like literally, this one gets when they talk about on the mods board volatile threads. They talk about hot topic board threads and cola threads and the Priddis thread as examples of volatile.
Well,
threads.
in
And
the last
Delusional
couple of
Pearl is
days,
Essendon.
there's
But-
been half the reports that have been coming through from the West, or all the reports coming through from the West Coast board are in any Priddis thread. It's basically the haters going, he's still shit.
The
They're wa- it's
happiest man on the planet is Shane Woden.
Without a
because
doubt.
He is no longer the shittest Brownlow medalist in the world.
That's true.
I think that's awfully harsh on Priddis, to be honest.
I think there's a 50-50 chance between Priddis and Woden.
I think Priddis is a more worthy winner than Judd in 2010 and Watson in 2012, so...
Well, everyone's a more worthy winner than Watson, but
Well, yeah, of course.
So what was Penal? What's Priddis's kicking efficiency?
Yeah, well, his disposal efficiency is 65%, which
What's
is...
his-
what's his?
But-
How is he by foot though?
So
I
out of every
don't
two
have those
kicks, how
stats
many
in front of
actually?
me.
Out of every two kicks, how many hits the target?
assuming his disposal efficiency holds true, it's about 1.3, 1.4.
No, by foot. By foot.
I
How many
don't
by
have
foot?
those stats in front of
Oh,
me.
you
I
do,
could
Thing
find
that
it.
Ant does.
His
Well,
team
let me
didn't
tell
even
you.
make the fucking 8.
50% disposal efficiency by foot,
Yeah, it's
and the guy can't even kick past 30 meters. So it's not like he's got a hard kick. These little sideways chip passes that you see Brian Lake do, he misses.
Listen, he's a really nice bloke.
Yeah, he seems like a
And-
great bloke.
He
Yeah.
does.
Oh, he's got a lovely head of hair though, doesn't he?
Just let your soul glow, so glow. But let me put this to you. 5 footballers who you would take in your side. Jordan Lewis, Jared Ruffhead, Joel Selwood, Gary Ablett, Priddis Solglow.
And you had to
Out of
pick
the
one, or
5.
one you had to leave out.
Who do you leave last?
Fucking Selwood, easy. He's shit.
Oh, shut up, bitch. I knew you'd say that, you fucking idiot.
Well, you gave him a fucking out, you idiot.
Yeah, I know. I did that on purpose.
He gets half his disposals from free kicks, so they don't count.
Yeah, but he's still able. 1 and 2, you can still kick it past the man on the mark.
Shut up, bitch, or I'll change my tip from your fucking team. And I want you to fucking die on the pole.
Die on the pole.
Priddis
Team
has
replaced
an
by
overall,
Soggy.
overall disposal effectiveness for Priddis is 65%, which is better than Wingard, Kennedy, Cochin, all these
So
other
he
players.
handballs
who
a
are
lot
raped
to
as
make up for the fact he
superstars.
can't
Yeah.
kick.
So he's got a
I'm
15%
gonna go to sleep in a
difference
minute.
based on his
You
handball.
fixed it for bringing me
Statistically,
fucking-
a greater proportion of Priddis's disposals reach their target than most other players.
Statistically, the greatest percentage of his disposals go 5 meters.
Yes, so he's probably up there with Guthrie for the Crab Award.
Yeah, there you go. And he's
No
got the
one's as bad
fucking
as
Brownlow. Jesus, what a lot of shit.
Hey, maybe there's hope for Geelong's concerning youth. I mean,
Maybe his hands are covered in that Slogo stuff, and that's why his disposal efficiency is a bit down.
Yeah, probably.
but have we got anything else on this?
What about the blue carpet at the Brownlow?
Oh, I don't watch that.
Yeah, okay, I didn't watch the Brownlow either.
You didn't catch Gabby Greco?
Oh, geez.
Tell you
Yeah,
what,
I saw that.
there are a lot of women who needed a good feed.
Like, well, Boomer's missus doesn't fall in that category, does
I'll
she?
tell you
Yeah,
what,
no,
though,
Boomer's
Luke Hodges'
shitty, right?
missus gave Boomers
What about-
missus a run.
What about
Did you see
Mrs.
that?
Judd? Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
she
but
looked
she's
like
not
she was.
forever.
Oh, she looked like she was a skeletal.
Go eat something.
Yeah, she looked pretty hungry, so Teach went up to her and offered up his marzipan log to feast on.
She knocked me back though.
But yeah, Penal's been on the Priddis wagon for most of the year. He mentioned it before and he melted when everyone told him to shut the fuck up. So come on, have your goo.
Let's just say I was right about Priddis, and it's good to see him get the recognition from the umpires.
Umpires?
Yeah, the umpires.
Yeah, so
Did he
big
get
shout out.
recognition? Did he get recognition in the All Australian? I can't remember.
Nah, he missed
Nah, he
out,
didn't.
but
First
hopefully,
one since Shameway Woden.
hopefully now the general public will sit up and take notice of what I've been saying for a while, and clearly my man Matt Stevick has been on board with me on the Priddis wagon.
And look, all I can say is this is just the most amazing troll from the umpires. They've done it a few times this year with the Geelong games, and they've done it in the past with St Kilda, but now they've given Priddis a Brownlow, and that thread on the West Coast board will deliver right up to the day he retires. Or
I'd be delivering afterwards as well, because the whole worst Brownlow medalist ever type stuff, you know.
It would have been even better if he hadn't got those 2 votes in the last round, because that way he would have finished below Fyfe in the votes count.
And that would have been, that's just the West Coast Fremantle dimension to it as well.
There was a bit of talk about a conspiracy there. I'm not sure if you guys read it. I'm not sure what thread it was in.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I saw that come from our friend Zan, man. Yeah.
I was a smiling Buddha.
Where's the X-Files music?
That's
for Zan, man. X for X-Files. We're through the looking glass here, folks.
I was putting the rubbish in my bins not long after the telecast, and he could hear a guy down my street yelling out, "Who the hell is Matt Priddis?" He must have been looking at it. He must have been looking at his phone, just finding out who had won or something, and he's like, "Who the hell's this guy?"
That's my bin night as well. The guy down the street kicked his bin but missed.
Do you reckon anyone actually put money on Matt Priddis to win?
At 30 to 1? No.
I did for the top 5 because I thought he had a sneaky chance of polling well.
He's a proven vote getter, but I don't think anyone actually
I didn't think
thought he'd ever win one.
What about you, Penal? Did you put your money where your mouth is?
Oh, I had a sneaky 50 on Jordan Lewis at 100 to 1, and I also had 10 on Priddis at 17 to 1, so I think overall I made money.
I must state I'm absolutely fuming about this because I was informed by a certain gambling, what would we call him, maestro, gambling...
Sausage fingers.
Messiah,
Duritz.
otherwise known as Duritz, that Joel Selwood was a fucking certainty at $2.50.
Fucking listen to Duritz at your peril. Jesus.
He said,
yeah, we have to get his creditor out again, you know, realise.
When I said $2.50 is not paying very well, he goes, what else would you say to doubling your money? So, Duritz, you were fucking wrong, and I hope Duritz's creditor comes after him because...
Stevie Johnson took all of Selwood's votes.
He did.
And he had a shit year. That's crap.
Yeah, fucking Duritz, though. Guaranteed. Selwood's Brownlow.
Listen to him at your peril.
Yeah,
so I think I made about $120 profit in the end, even though the Lewis bet didn't come through.
Are you going to split it with us?
That'll pay for like 2 beers on Saturday.
Hell no, he's gone all Boomer Harvey and gone, yeah. Keep the car.
I'll take the car.
The other thing I will note is that, Priddis missed the All-Australian team, and I think when we look at that All-Australian team back, if you're going to slot the Brownlow medalist in, I think...
Was he even in the squad?
He was in the
Yes,
squad. He
was.
missed out. There was meltdowns on the Eagles board about that, and people saying, no, he didn't deserve to be in there. But, but the funny thing is that, well... Guess who else was named on the bench? And it's Hadouken's pal, the ineffective Rockcliffe. So clearly he's the one that's Priddis's moral spot, is Rockcliffe's spot. I think we can, Do we think that?
No, if I were to take anyone out for him, it'd probably be Ballantyne.
No, you can't take the forward pocket player out for a guy who can't kick.
No, you put Luke Bruce to forward pocket because he got in on the half forward flank, and then slot Priddis in on the half forward flank because I think that's
Half
where
forward
he does
flank.
his best work, a la Dane Swan a couple of years ago, getting in on the half forward flank.
Oh,
Be the same thing.
If Priddis is not in the middle of the ground getting under the packs, he's fucking useless.
No wonder
50% disposal efficiency
no
by
wonder
foot.
this All-Australian team would not beat Hawthorn.
If you take Ballantyne out for Priddis, it would add another fucking West Coast Freo shit fight dimension to it. So that's why I suggested that.
Okay.
Speaking of Dane Swan, anyone hear that he got a tattoo of Sam Newman on his ass? Anyone hear that?
What?
Yep.
I think it was on news.com.au. He got a tattoo of Sam Newman on his ass, like yesterday or something.
Is there any
Probably the
space
only
on
bit
his
of
body
skin
for a
that isn't
tattoo?
It was some bet he made when he was on the footy show, I think, and at least Dane Swan isn't a welter, I guess.
Well,
It's not remotely
it's true.
like
It's like how Penal got his tattoo of struggler on his ass.
Anything else on the Brownlow or Dane Swan? Or
How did we think Gill went for the first time?
he got through the votes pretty quickly, didn't he, Motor?
He pronounced the names well, so I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
He did a little bit better than his brother having his Mr. Aaron moment up the front.
Well, he
I'll
did
say
make
that.
any mistakes, so that worked out all right.
And the other thing that has been noted, Hodgepodge noted this, hi Hodgepodge, that Adam Goods didn't win the Jim Steins Award. Didn't even get nominated.
Oh,
2 years in a row, he's not been nominated.
What a shame.
That's
Goes to show
racist.
what a shit bloke he is.
So who won? Who won the Other Good Guy award?
Bo Waters, as
Yes, he
Tom
did,
Harley called
yes.
him, because
What's
Tom
his
Harley
kicking
had 2 words to
disposal
say
like?
and he couldn't even get it right.
What's Bo Waters' kicking disposal?
I bet you it's
efficiency?
not as good as Priddis because 50% isn't that bad. You know, it's like what Meatloaf said. I know that the song is 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Well, if you're an inside mid and you're kicking, 1 out of 2 ain't bad because it's still better than like Kennedy and Cochin and stuff like that.
And before we move on to the talking points, it's been a few weeks since Teach did the report cards.
So, Teach, as you did after the 8 was decided, we got 6 report cards for you to hand out. So, the teams that have finished their seasons, you're going to report on their season, give them a letter grade of A to F.
Okay, so teacher's report card for the sides that finished the finals but played them. So, Richmond. I'm going to give Richmond a B+, because they came home with a wet sail. And,
Except for that last game, you know.
oh, well, they got there. They absolutely got there after a shit start to the year, and they're going to be better next year. I can see that for Richmond.
Just one thing on Richmond.
Go
Do
on.
you reckon Harwick is a good coach?
Tough call. 50-50. Not going to call that.
He's not going to end up like Sanders. He might end up like
He
Sanderson.
might end up.
They'll extend his contract.
Yeah, if he doesn't make the finals next year, he's fucked. Essendon, D. Drug
Deep
fuck
drugs.
didn't deserve to get there anyway, and they're going to be fucked next year when Herd takes over and Bomber's gone.
So they're going to go from a D to drugs for an F to
D,
fuck.
D for drugs, yes. Geelong, D.
But D,
Yeah.
you rated them. You rated them
Harsh
this
but
year.
fair.
That's even worse than C for
I
concerning.
reckon that's a bit harsh there, Teach, because you rated your team to finish about 12th this year.
I did.
They went beyond your expectations, yet they still
Someone's
get a D.
getting carried away with the
Yeah,
straight
but they
sets
won
extra.
all of those close games. They won every single one of the close games.
You mean the umpires got them over the line?
Yeah, the
both
umpires.
games?
You conceding the umpires.
So
Shut the
basically,
fuck up.
so yes, basically saying Geelong won games, but they lost them when it mattered.
Yes, exactly.
So you gave
Just
Geelong
like
a
the
D
last
for that,
50 years
and then you
before.
gave Richmond a B+ for doing the same thing.
No. But Richmond came from nowhere to actually finish in the finals.
We technically did win 9 games that mattered.
Yes, you did.
They won 9 elimination finals in a row.
This is my
Until we
report
got to an
card, so
actual-
shut the fuck up.
9 moral elimination finals.
And you
So,
had the magic number 9.
D for Geelong. Probably should have finished lower than they did. Freo, C. Just fucking middle of the road.
Unwatchable as well.
Yeah, went nowhere, did nothing. Should have got better, but didn't.
Bit generous. I'd give them an F for fail. Like they should have delivered a premiership this year. In all honesty, their window's shut now.
Yeah, but they made the
Well, don't tell
finals
us why,
at least. So, give them that much.
Straight sets, though.
Port, B+.
It's the same as Richmond.
Port were just about there, and they just didn't quite get over the line because of things.
What's the curve on this? Is anyone ever going to crack an A?
No.
North probably.
Well, whoever wins a fucking premiership is going to crack an A. But Port, B+, really, really good season. They're going to be right up there and doing it next year.
On par with Richmond. Well done.
Well done, Paul.
North, B+.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you fucked it up too many times. You just couldn't play a game out, for a full amount of time. So, unfortunately, you just lost too many games that you should have won. But there you go. So there's the mark. And why would you expect any less? I mean, these are sides that haven't made the grand final. So,
But you've given Richmond a B+, and you've given the 2 preliminary finalists a B+.
You get fucking West Coast a B+. Come on.
Come on, Teach. How are we supposed to take this seriously if you're just being...
I didn't
flippant
give a
about
West
this?
Coast a B+.
You did.
I think you
You
did.
did, man.
No, I'm going back on that. Fucking D.
Nah, B for Brownlow, man.
This is the thing. You can have an A year without winning the premiership. I think Port had an A year.
No, don't think so. No.
What about a grand final loss? What does that get you? A B+?
Maybe an A-. We'll see how we go next week.
The teacher's a harsh marker.
But if anyone goes after Gary Ablett, I'll fucking come after you.
Stick you in a barrel, run over you with a bandwagon.
Don't even go after Gary.
Anyway, let's move on to, well, Judgment Day was Friday. Essendon got bitch slapped.
Oh, yeah.
Stephen
Copper-
Dank was there to hear it
copper
all.
bitches.
It was just, they got costs awarded against him, and, well, the Messiah wasn't happy.
Essendon
Yeah, well,
folk weren't
I
happy
mean-
either.
Yeah, it didn't go down well. Go on, Network, sorry.
I was just going to say, the Essendon folk weren't too happy either, but...
But this is the best
hell's that
result they could have had.
noise?
It's the troll.
What's good? Is that trollolol going on in the background?
Yes. It was hilarious, and then as soon as, just hours after that comes down, Ryder says, yeah, fuck you, I'm out. And
Yeah, and he looks like he might end up at Port.
yeah,
Oh,
but they're going to
fuck,
have
I
to give
hope
up Ollie Wines for him if you read the Essendon board.
Yeah,
Ollie
that's
Wines
fucking
plus the
tards.
first round pick.
Yeah.
No, Ollie Wines, a top five pick, or Ollie Wines, I think.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
Well, that's reasonable.
Because guys, it's totally unethical if Ryder pulls his contract and says I'm walking. It's
Yeah.
just not fair.
No, that's not.
No,
Not
the
fair.
club are allowed to fuck him over, but he's not allowed to walk. No, it's not
No,
fair.
yeah.
Well, he is, but he's actually doing a nice thing. He's saying that he wants to get the club a pick.
Has he
return.
said that?
Yeah, he has. That's what he said today. He wants to get the club a pick back.
Yeah,
So,
but a pick back. But if he nominates a club, it doesn't necessarily have to be a decent pick because
Yeah,
No. It could be any pick.
it could be,
Hey,
Second
Essendon,
rounder.
you want Sean Makers? You can have him.
Do you want Ryder, though, to play in front of Stegler?
Oh, no, I mean, we wouldn't be in the running for Ryder.
stick
Carlisle,
a bag
maybe.
of pharmaceuticals into show makers.
Ryder.
I think Ryder will end up at Sydney because they've got no salary cap and they can afford him.
Well, speaking of that, I think, did Network Nerd mention it before?
Yeah, there was an article on the AFL site where Mike Pike, he just signed a contract extension, but they were clearly, there's a bit of Kohler pressure up there saying Kohler threw a big spanner in the works. So it was quite an interesting read because I didn't think Pike would be on that much, but even they're struggling to get him in. So, yeah, very interesting times ahead.
So the fact that they're losing Kohler or they're
Yeah,
using
so
their
there's-
Kohler up
the
on
Cole's
Tippett and
being
Buddy.
wound back
Yeah,
to
because-
actually be given
No
to the players
Kohler
that
in
need
his-
it instead of the...
No Kohler in his new contract. So, and then he's like, oh shit, I'm getting less. What am I going to do?
You'd have
Yeah,
to move
so-
off. You'd have to move from the North Shore.
Ah, well.
But yeah, and the players have said no deal, apparently, to Asada, so...
Bulls.
Yes.
Bulls.
The longer they delay this, if they took the 6 months now, they won't miss any football. But if
The
they delay
hole's
this
getting
and it comes
deeper.
down-
Get out while you still can.
I think, yeah, they are going to miss at least a year, probably two, like, because the club keeps trying to delay everything. We've heard from Robert that the club are probably going to appeal the judge's verdict, which is fucking stupid because the judge left, like, no avenue open for appeal because of how emphatic he was.
But
And
Middleton's
it looks
corrupt.
like it's
Didn't you
gonna-
read the Essendon
Mil- yeah,
board?
he's corrupt, and they're going to sue him, and they're going to sue the Supreme Court, and someone's going to kill him.
Yeah.
It
Because
looks like it's just going to keep going
what
on
are the
and
guys
on.
said
I
that?
love it.
What did he say? Like Justin Middleton better sleep,
Sleep with an eye open.
Justin Middleman.
Sorry, Kate, but this is my new favourite Middleton now.
Was Essendon turned into Carlton and become a bunch of mafia thugs?
Well,
The-
they're just serving the leader.
The Essendon board is one giant hive mind at the moment. They're just
Well, no. The rumour is it's not. Half of them
Well-
are gone, and...
No, I think it's about 90% that are just this one voice of must worship Herd, and then anyone who dares to speak up against Herd and say, I want Herd gone, they get turned on by their supporters, and the supporters will scream them down. It happened to Big Joe D during the week.
Yeah,
He
yes,
said,
yeah, heard about
I wasn't a
But
fan
really-
of what Herd did, and he got yelled at and shouted down by his own supporters. And you know a board and you know a group of people is in a complete disarray, and fucking man with no name of all people is the voice of reason for them.
Power Rangers.
But really, how fucked are Essendon? I mean, they've got one side of the fence, they've got an absolute bully in Little, and the other side, they've got this narcissist who's out for himself. I mean, they got no
It's-
hope.
That's the thing, and Herd's not going away, so he's dragging the club down with him, and yet they're letting him do it, and they're loving that he's doing it. It's absurd. It's really absurd.
Sieg Heil, mein Führer.
But speaking of Ryder getting the fuck out of Essendon, Goodwin's got the hell out of Essendon, but unfortunately all he could get was Melbourne.
But it's not unfortunate. The dumb bastard actually turned down the Adelaide job. He got offered it, and he said, "No, I've committed to Melbourne."
Yeah, but isn't Adelaide another poison chalice?
It is a bit.
I think he just doesn't want to live there.
Well, yeah, Prosciutto's pulling the strings over there. And
I mean, how surprised are we? I was completely surprised that Sanderson got booted.
Would Sanderson have the best winning percentage of any Adelaide coach ever, or something like that?
That is true. And that's 56%, which is weird because that says they're not. I haven't been all that successful aside from two of the biggest Bradbury flags.
Let's not go there.
Oh, yeah, that's madness. I thought it was absolute madness.
But the supporters on 5AA going all right in front of me on the calling in, that was hilarious because they're not happy over in Adelaide.
Well, this is all Port Adelaide's fault. They've done this.
Yeah.
Their sudden rise to success has put Adelaide on the back foot. They've become the second team in Adelaide, and they felt the need now to.
Well, wasn't it? It was a player revolt though. The players went to the boards. The leadership group of the players. I mean, leadership group. You got fucking Tex Walker. Don't like him. He make me train.
Yeah, he don't.
The board have listened to the fucking players.
Yeah, Sendo don't like my haircut. So I don't really like him that much.
He dropped me because I had a beer at a Sandful game.
And Dangerfield's a cunt.
Who do we think is going to get the job next year?
He told us we had a 19th man, but we only had 18 on the field.
Oh, well, there's going to be no shortage of people who are going to put their hand up for a...
I can count to 20. 5 fingers.
There's going to be no shortage of people who put their hand up for a senior coaching job, but Jesus.
Westfold.
You're not going to get it unless you're South Australian.
Would you
wouldn't take it unless you were South Australian, surely, because everyone knows you get double the time if you're South Australian over there with the Crows.
Yeah.
Well, you might as well apply for the job, Teach.
Oh, well, I could do just as well. I mean, I could take a 3-year contract and I'd fuck it up after a year and then take a 2-year payout afterwards.
One thing,
just walk out and go,
Adelaide are dumb.
I was here for a joke anyway.
Adelaide are dumb fucks for extending his contract and then getting rid of him. That's just Melbourne-esque, isn't it?
That's
like Essendon and Knights. And once again, the favourite son's done the knifing.
Who, Rashudo, wasn't it?
Rashudo was, 3 months after Rashudo came on board and he's gone.
I reckon Nathan Bassett's probably favourite to take the job, one of their own.
Yeah, that might happen.
Rashudo struggles to put a sentence together.
I don't think he struggles to put a sentence together. It's just that he's got the weirdest voice of all time. He sounds
he does, yes, exactly.
He sounds like he's got no idea, but unlike Texie, I think he actually does. It's just
so he's a bit like Kernahan, sounds like a retard, but he actually has a brain.
That's a pretty good way of saying it, yeah. Anything else on Sanderson?
Yeah.
As Peach said, I was surprised as well, because I thought he was doing... I mean, they weren't doing great, but they were still building.
Well, they were game outside the 8.
I mean, they had some smart recruiting of some mature players, like Eddie Betts and...
J-Pod.
Yeah. Anyway, fucking South Australians.
Back to Melbourne, but yeah, Goodwin had to take the job. He's going to take over from Roos, but he's not getting a priority pick in the AFL, so get fucked.
So do you reckon they will get the priority pick? Sorry.
They didn't finish last, so why should they get one?
They shouldn't be on
they're
a handout
greedy little
mentality.
cunts.
It's like every time they
Fair enough,
fuck up.
man. Yes.
Please, sir, I want some more.
It's the AFL. This is a compassionate decision from the AFL, despite how it looks, because Ant hinted at this the other week. Dooming another top 5 draft pick to a career at Melbourne at the moment is just not fair.
It's career suicide.
Yeah, they need Roos to do a bit more work there before they start tumpusing players.
I mean, Roos is...
Is that going to be a term now, tumpusing players?
It can be, I don't know.
I mean, you could either say they've been scullied or freaking Trengroved or...
Does anyone think they deserved one around here?
No.
Oh, fuck no.
No way.
Well, we know Penal's thoughts. He thinks they should merge with Hawthorn, but...
I think they should fold altogether.
But didn't they... I mean, they were down in...
It's
When did they first go down? Was it 2007? 2006?
Yeah, I think so. 2007 or 8.
I mean, there's teams have gone up and down again in that life cycle. I mean, and they're still...
With 3 number 1 picks.
I mean, the Bulldogs have gone up and down in that time period as well. We didn't go all the way to the bottom, but we've gone, up and down the ladder.
Didn't go all the way to the fucking top either. You went to a prelim.
Ooh.
No, they want a
he's a bit
VFL
angry.
flag, so get fucked.
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
get fucked.
getting a bit fucking angry there.
Yeah,
Can
but
we-
that up and down is a
My
result
favourite
of the
Boyle-
draft
Anyway,
accountability.
what the whole point was not so much success, but they've rebuilt a team and gone down again and slowly rebuilding again. They've gone past Melbourne, so it's just like, what the fuck are Melbourne doing?
Well,
Yeah,
you
they
only
don't
know one
deserve it.
way of being a parasite. You just keep putting your hand out like the bum on the street and going, please,
But if-
sir, spare any change?
It is. I mean, it is that whole old saying, like you can, give the man some fish, or you can teach him how to fish. Melbourne need to learn how to fucking fish.
If this happened to
That's very
fucking
true.
Sydney or Gold Coast or someone or GWS maybe in 5 years, that happens to a team in a non-footy heartland, they would have had 10 priority picks by now. But I think that's something
So
that
you're defending them now?
I'm not defending.
No, he's saying that teams that
the
come
fucking
from the non-heartland of football would have got these picks, but Melbourne is from the heartland.
I know what he's saying, but it sounds like he's vaguely sympathising with Melbourne's
I'm
plight.
saying-
Yeah, and also AFL manage those teams too closely to allow fuck-ups like Cameron Swab anywhere near them.
Well,
That's very true
fair.
because they sent
that's a
Swan
good
to
point.
Brisbane, and they sent one of their own to the Giants too. So that is absolutely true.
Good
No,
point.
they're making
Okay.
sure those teams are orchestrated, and Sydney have got too good of a culture for that to fall over. So
Sydney's culture died 30 years ago,
Cola.
or 30 years ago.
It's
that was
the
South
cola,
Melbourne, man.
the cola culture.
Oh, we'll talk about that later when we come to the
Yes,
grand
but we did hint at the VFL Grand Final, and well, the Bulldogs have finally won a flag, albeit
Yay.
down in
Did-
the
I-
Sand
Come on,
Forest
I went on
comp.
Teach last week and said they were going to kick their fucking heads in, and they did.
with a little bit of help from standby Cyril.
Cyril was great out there. Every time he went near the ball, probably about 6 times. 20,000 people booed him. That was awesome.
And also a mass amount of help from our latest inductee into the Bay 13 Hall of Fame, the great Ryan Clangermakers.
I believe he had 8 goals kicked on him for the game.
How many in last quarter alone?
Was there 4? Well, Liam Jones just
What
went.
do you call a Leon Davis medalist in the VFL Grand Final?
I don't know.
The Sil Rioli.
It's going to
Well, I
be the
think-
Ryan Schoenmakers.
Yeah, we should.
No,
talk
no,
about
but
that now.
But
Yeah,
he's
maybe
not
we'd
a
call
small
it the
forward.
Ryan Showmakers medal.
I reckon there was a tie between Schoenmakers and Rioli for the worst players on the field.
Well, it depends on your philosophy really, because Rioli did the Leon Davis and went missing and did nothing, whereas Clangermakers did the Hayden Ballantyne and actively contributed to the loss in his spudness. So it's really depends on your outlook there. But yeah, I didn't watch this game, so I can only go on what I've been told. But apparently he was shit house, and if you're letting Liam Jones kick 4 goals on you in a quarter, that's not good. That's never good.
Well, I mean, the Bulldogs.
Lin Jong, what a gun.
Oh yeah. He played a great game, but I watched their last 2 games, and I thought that they were going to win for sure. And they just had so much run in carry, and you knew that when it was close at 3/4 time that they were going to win. And you guys have been a bit hard on the old Clangermakers.
Come on, Penal NetworkNerd, send him straight. Come on.
Well,
No.
no arguments from here. I've done a 180. His time at Hawthorn is limited.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I'm-
for Hawthorn's future, number 41 could take a grab up in their forward line. I mean, it was Sicily.
Yeah, he's
Sicily
he's
played
good, he's
really
good
well.
player,
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
great.
he was a 1-grab player, and he had a decent backman on him in Talia. So he was the Hawks player who looked like a good player for the future, unlike Schoenmakers and Rioli, who are part of your past.
So no chance of Clangers replacing Spanger this week?
I wouldn't have thought so.
I think
Shouldn't.
Spanger will definitely get a gig against Clangers.
No, your grand final team doesn't. You will definitely lose the game if you bring one of those players in from Box Hill.
Yep.
Because none of them deserve a promotion.
But Rioli sat on the bench whilst Isles ran
Yeah,
around
I think
with a
Spanger
busted hamstring.
deserves a gig.
Yeah, but he's in the team.
Yeah, McAvoy's the only one. McAvoy for Segler, possibly. But...
Yeah.
No.
Oh, sorry,
Big boy.
Penal. Sorry.
Nah, I
Wounded Hawk.
I think McAvoy will go in. I don't know. It might work, might not. I think that's more a defensive move to sort of send McAvoy down back, plug the hole. Because Segler offers more up forward, but McAvoy probably better.
Really?
Yeah, Segler offers more up forward.
Because all McAvoy has is he's round the ground because he can't tap ruck for shit.
McAvoy is a good sort of kick behind the play ruckman and sort of bailout kick down the line.
He's a big body, and you need that in a grand final when you at contested ball the whole game. So I reckon he'll be in.
Anyway, we'll move on from that to, well, the recruit got announced last week. In my opinion, the standout from the beginning won. He chose Port Adelaide. Koshy made a speech, and Geelong also picked one of the Irish guy as well. Concerning youth, you had to go to the recruit.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, yes, of course, as Penal has pointed out all year, we've got this concerning youth and, we've got this,
Winner didn't want you, though.
No, but you did have a deficiency in the ruck, though, so I think it was actually a pretty good move.
Although this guy got marked down on the show for being too fat, so maybe he's just there to make Hawkins feel better about himself.
Yeah, but the winner went to Port Adelaide. I mean, why would he choose to go there? I mean,
as a mid-sized forward type, he's got to beat out Wingard and Gray or somehow find a spot alongside.
Yeah, what a douche. He should have come to Geelong. But we've got the Irish guy, so that's good enough. So maybe that's going to improve our concerning youth.
So, yeah, 2 of them are going to clubs. That said, there could be a whole lot more once Essendon get raided because they're going to have to find players somewhere.
Maybe they could have recruit part 2. Yes.
Yeah, one of the challenges can be, instead of hot coals, they're going to have a whole bunch of syringes or something in a pit. You got to walk across it.
They're going to have the test where you have to pass the consent form test where you don't sign it.
Fyfie, did you think that guy was going to win? I did.
I did from the very beginning. He was the standout. He actually might, if he hadn't chosen Port Adelaide, he might have played some serious game time at the expansion clubs who also wanted him.
I reckon he'll get game time. I reckon he's pretty good.
I think so too, but Port's going to be a tough team to break into next year.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll do well at the Magpies.
True.
Another thing that came up this week is Brad Scott was talking about his former coach, Lee Fall, had a rule of no sex in January, so that players didn't miss finals.
What?
January?
Births. Yeah, but that's 9 months. Do your maths.
And so how did he dissuade them from having sex? Did he say like, when you're feeling hot, you just picture me hanging the piss with my pants around my ankles?
I think he said just to use protection in January.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Or just go up the bum or something.
Or maybe they're just supposed to have a wank.
That's Hawthorn as well, the old gooing.
Soggy sayer.
Is this serious? No sex in January?
Yeah, that is.
So he didn't want basically them to have a baby come finals time. Is that it?
Come finals time.
Yes,
correct.
Oh, okay, right.
So not only has he revolutionised diving and sniping, but he revolutionised finals preparation.
Yeah, birth control.
Or Falcon Punch.
I believe it's called Donkey Punch.
Let's move on from that.
Yeah, very far away from that.
Real quick, thread of the week. I think there's 2 options here. There's the Trollalolol from Mugak, and there's the Mothra bottom 50 has just begun, which has started rippingly, but it's not the same without the visuals, though, is it?
No, it's not.
Without the cheesy fucking grin.
Pretty funny though.
Do we have any other noms? No other nominations.
There's a few ship fight threads, but none really standing out. So
yeah, we don't sort of often have a post of the week, but I thought this week we had a clear best post of the week, which was in the Brad Gould out fat suckling in thread started by Goo. So in this thread, Boss comes along and says account creation needs to start incorporating capture, so vermin like you are too stupid to register. He tags Chief in and says, Chief, make it happen. And then Chief comes along, very next post, and lays down a brilliant smackdown and says, how would you get on? And I thought, perfectly timed. Brilliantly executed. That is post of the week for me.
Some chief goo.
There is a thing on the mods board where you can actually check the most liked posts for the week. And I usually do it just to, when I give the MVP votes. And I go, oh, there's one from Chief here on the bay. Yeah, and that's how I found out about it. It's like, oh, ultimate Bosk smackdown. But yeah, Ugak or Mofra?
I've spoken.
Ugak.
Ugak. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's unanimous.
Vlog of the week.
Can I vote D9?
Has he been on?
He had a thread move to the bay today. It started on the main board, blaming the umpires.
It went from the main board then to the umpires conspiracy board, and then it came back to. I think Ant moved it to the bay.
Yeah, he did. I want to nominate Jack Attack, who's been incredibly shitful this week.
He has, yes. He's been full of shit.
Mm. But yeah, Soggy also had a pretty shit week again. But anyone else? D9, Jack Attack.
Oh, you got to love D9. I mean, you got to go with him every time.
Legend's always a flog. But has he got one?
He hasn't got one yet, but I don't think he's been on this week.
Yeah, he's been around. Stupid flog.
Yeah. I haven't found any posts of his to divvy this week, so I guess I've noticed him.
He's just sort of consistently a bad poster, but not really one that sort of makes you stand up and go, whoa, like sort of we had a couple of weeks ago with
this year.
Yeah.
He's just annoying. He's nothing.
Yeah.
Noise.
He's like Adley, basically.
He is. But who do we want for this
Dine
week?
off.
Can we give it to D9 even though he didn't actually post on the bay?
Yes, we can. We can give it to D9. It can be anywhere. It can be anyone.
We
Or
should.
we can give it. We can give it to Joe Watson, who melted hard on that Essendon thread after the court case. He was the one who said sleep with the eye open, sue the Supreme Court.
Ryan's too.
Oh,
Ryan.
and
Fish are dancing.
do we want to give it to one of them, or D9, or
D9's the
Jack
closest.
Attack?
D9.
D9.
Yeah, go with D9.
Yeah.
D9.
All right. D9's vlog of the week. And last week's poll, what happened to Teach? 6.7% said Roy Lyon got him. 23.3% said bandwagon injuries put him in hospital. 33.3% said he jumped a train to West Horsham. But the winner with 36.7% said Jack Watts found him passed out in the new shithole stadium toilet.
Stop it. Stop it.
Stop it.
Let's...
You're
Look, he
hurting
was
him.
there, but he was rescuing me.
Kind of. Passively trying to help you out. Stop it.
You'll kill him. Stop it.
There is only one thing left to talk about. Anyway, it's the big game. It's the and disappointingly, it's the third straight grand final with non-Victorian teams playing.
Stop.
Yeah, disappointing.
But
Could have had it all Tassie grand final. That wasn't
Yeah.
really.
but who do we think's going to win? Who's going to win the Norm Smith? Who's going to win the Leon Davis medal?
Oh, I don't care about the Norm Smith. I only care about the Leon Davis medal.
Well, if Cyril's in, he's a Monty
Certainty, yeah.
He's a Monty for the Leon.
You'd be a raging favourite. Yep.
What if he comes in and is the sub? Could you
Yeah,
give it
I
to-
think. Yeah,
Could you give Leon to a guy
can't-
who
you
plays
can't.
for-
No.
Give it to
If
a
he-
sub.
If he
You can't give it to
he's
a sub.
bad, no,
I can give it to whoever the fuck I
you can,
like.
because the sub. Yeah. You can, because the
Yeah,
sub
listen to
could
you,
play
bitch.
from the second
Okay,
quarter.
Bombers.
Well,
sub
let's
could play
say
from
the
the second
player has
quarter.
to play at least 3/4 of football.
What if he goes statless for a quarter like Burberry did?
Nah. 1/4 of football cost them the game last time he was in.
Let's face it, if Rioli is fucking fully fit, 1/4 of Rioli is better than 4/4 from any other player in the league.
If
Oh.
shut up, shit.
Wanker.
If Rioli is probably the only player who could play the grand final, get injured, and win this medal without it being injury trolling because he's gone in under the cloud and all that.
Exactly.
He's the only one.
Yeah,
So
I'm
if-
gonna,
So he can win it as the sub, rest assured.
I'm gonna
so-
come out and say that I don't think he will play. I think if I were in the situation, I wouldn't take the risk with him. I wouldn't play him. Back the team that got the job done against Port and Geelong. Back them in and leave Rioli out. It's a big call, but that's what I would do.
So who's your tip
All right,
for...
give us your 3.
Yeah, gives you 3.
So my tip for the game is Hawthorn. I think they'll do it quite easily. Maybe 95 points. Is what we'll win by.
Jeez.
Isaac Smith will get the Norm Smith. 25 goals and 3 disposals from the wing, I think, will seal it. And Lewis Jetta for the worst on ground.
Well,
Hawthorn
tough, very,
win.
very, very tough game. Obviously, I have to go with Hawthorn. 7 points. Although I'm not very confident about it, but I'll go 7 points. Norm Smith, I actually go Ben McGlynn. He'll have a good game up forward, I think. Probably could get like 4 goals, 20 possessions, but it won't be enough. And for Lewis Jetta, not Lewis Jetta, the Leon Davis medal. I'll go with Lewis Jetta. Why not?
I'll go next. I think Hawthorn will win by 2 goals, and that Cyril Rioli won't win the Leon Davis medal because he will not play. If he does, Hawthorn will not win. But Norm Smith medal, I'm going to go with Jared Ruffhead to be the difference, probably with 4 goals, and the Leon Davis medal to go to the other guy at the other end who does stuff all for the game will be Kurt Tippett.
All right, I'll go next. Hawks by 19 points. Jordan Lewis for the Norm Smith, and Kurt Tippett for the Leon Davis.
All right, I think it's my turn. Sydney by 6 to 7 goals. Norm Smith, I'm going to go Jack Attack.
Oh, you set the fire amongst the reeds there.
If Cyril plays, he's got the knee on. If not, I'm going to say Bruce.
I'm going to tip Hawthorn by 3 goals. Norm Smith medalist, I think, will be Jack Dunstan. And the Leon Davis medal winner will be Heath Shaw. No, not Heath.
You mean his brother?
Reece.
No, Reece Shaw, not Heath.
Ooh, big call there.
And how do we think the entertainment will go? How do we think Tom and Ed will go?
Fucking hopeless, as you.
Bring back Lionel Richie.
Well, the thing is with what's his name?
Tom Jones.
Which one?
Which one? Yeah, there's 2 of them, man.
What's it? Tom Jones.
Yeah.
He's had a few lead-up shows, and I think he's going all right, which wasn't the case for Meatloaf. He just sort of tried to wing it, and it just sounded like Meatloaf.
Meatloaf is fucking awful.
Apparently, Robbie Williams turned down $1 million wasn't enough for 3 songs. So go figure.
Oh well, there you go.
Anyway, so yeah, this was the Flogcast for the grand final. Fyfie joined by Penal,
See ya. Go Hawks.
Ant,
So yeah,
Dane,
Yeah.
NetworkNerd,
Go Hawks. See you guys.
and the Teach.
Good night.
Choo choo.
Get on the train.
Get on the goo train. Yes, I'm on the goo train for this week, and everyone else should be.